Yes, guys, welcome. Big up, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me again this evening. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and we're back into the working week. Guys, I hope you're all doing good. We've got a brand new Liverpool video today talking about Arne Slot and everything that's going on at the moment at Liverpool Football Club. You know, we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to chat about it with you today. But before we start, guys, don't forget to go and hit that like, subscribe, and share the video. I'd appreciate it, and big up to everyone here. Hope you're all doing good. Don't forget to hit that like button as soon as you come in, guys. It does help the channel massively. Yeah, guys, so hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope you're all good. We've got a lot of chat about, obviously. Arne Slot now, you know, it's Monday. Arne Slot's officially been Liverpool manager now for a few days. Yet no press conference. Yeah, this is the talk of the town at the moment. This is what everyone's chatting about online. You know, there's been no press conference for Arne Slot at the moment. You know what's happening there. You know, we want to hear from him. I don't know what's happening either. Look, I actually want to hear from Arne Slot. I thought we'd have some kind of communication from the Liverpool Football Club this weekend about future plans. None of that. You know, obviously Liverpool have tweeted that a couple of times, you know, welcoming Arne Slot to Liverpool Football Club as the new head coach. That was put out on the 1st of June. And then yesterday, I think they put out a tweet and a picture of all the managers that have been at Liverpool Football Club. I think, what is it, 22 managers in their existence, which you think about it is madness. It's not many at all. And Arne Slot's the newest member of that board. But apart from that, that's it. Nothing really saying that, you know, got something coming up this week. Slot's press conferences at the end of the week or anything like that. Nothing. Interesting. Am I bothered? Probably not. I'm not as bothered as a lot of people are. I just want to hear from him. I think we live in a day and age now where social media is key, and using social media is one way to get to a fan base, especially. And, you know, we see Hansi Flick do a video package, welcome him to Barcelona. We didn't get one of them either. You know, new managers are getting, but I don't think Hansi Flick's done a press conference for Barcelona yet either. You know, they just put a thing out. But then Fenerbahce did a press conference for Mourinho today. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what you guys think. I am not 100% bothered by it. I just looking forward to hearing from him. I think as a fan base, you know, we've had Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool manager, and everyone is like, there's a lot of fans that absolutely love Jurgen and still not go over the fact that he's left the football club. And I think from that point of view, a lot of people would like just hear from the new guy, because I honestly think once Arne Slot gets talking and we listen to him in a press conference, I think a lot of people will fall for Arne Slot and go, yeah, that's my man, and let's get behind him. And I think that's what everyone's waiting for. But I think we're here saying this week. You know, I think we're here saying this week. I think hopefully a press conference by the end of the weekend, because obviously the Euros are a week on Saturday. You ain't going to do anything while the Euros is on. And then when the Euros is finished, everyone really comes back to start pre-season. You know, you get a little bit of break, but everyone will start pre-season plans will be starting. You know, Slot will be in the job, you know, starting to do pre-season plans. You know, it'd be July. So you got to do the press conference in July. When you start a press conference, is that the way you got to do it? That don't seem to make sense to me either. So hopefully sometime this week we get a press conference with Arne Slot as a new Liverpool manager. I mean, he's probably on a little holiday himself, to be fair. He just had a grueling season with Feyenoord, and he probably wants a little break himself, you know. maybe a little summer holiday himself. He comes back after that, the end of the week, and we have a press conference. We start it then. So is it next Friday? Yeah, the Euros are coming up, man. Exciting times. But yeah, and obviously transfers we're going to get to as well. But let me know in chat what you guys think as well. We got everyone here. I hope you're all doing well. See some people here in the chat. Big up Connor already in the chat, my man. Yeah, not even an interview yet. Big up Alan in the chat. How you doing well, man? You're in the chat. Josh in the chat. How you doing well? Daz, Wiggs. Punjabi Firmino, big up to you. He says Slot's probably been told zero budget from events, no present. We'll go chat about that in a minute. YouTube's name says could care less. The less time he spends in front of the cameras, the more times he has to do his job. Yeah, I get that as well. I think it would just be good to hear from him, to be fair. My man Luke in the chat. How you doing well, Luke? Everyone go and subscribe to Luke Tanner's channel. Big up Luke in the chat. Maybe he will have his first press conference, our first summer signing. Lucky 16 said uncomfortable conversation. It's been 5 years since we last won the Champions League. All I am asking is a Champions League in the near future because 2029, because that's going to be 10 years from 2019. Please let's win number 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Yeah, the way the Champions League's looking, yeah, Liverpool will have a shout. There's no doubt about it. I thought we would have signed someone before the Euros. When does the transfer market officially open, guys? Let me know in the chat. When does the transfer market officially open? Big up, my man. When does it officially open? Jamie, I think all our signs will come in the space of a couple of days too, mate. Could do. Weird that no interview has dropped, no press are needed. Saw some idiot yesterday on Liverpool's Instagram comments saying how he hates Arne Slot and Arne Slot is no good. Already some minority parts of the fan base writing him off. Sad to see. Yeah, unfortunately, you gotta get that. You gotta get that. You know, the Church of Klopp is strong with a lot of people, man, and there's Liverpool fans, and I agree with Liverpool fans as well that demand more. They demand more because we're Liverpool Football Club, and I can't disagree with them. But footballing today, who would you want to get as manager? Who does everyone want? You know, who does everyone want? It's not like there's so much quality out there. Do people want people like Antonio Conte who just ruins sides? You know, Simeone's on a death row contract at Atletico Madrid. You know, you got Pep Guardiola at Man City, Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. Apart from them guys, who literally is out there, Hansi Flick. You know, so many people like 50-50 on Hansi Flick. Oh yeah, a lot of people going, yeah, he's a good manager. I've got other people hearing that he's not great. Luis Enrique the same. So there's not there's not a lot there's not a lot out there. There's not a lot out there. Big up Mike says if FSG don't spend more than 150 million, everyone needs to be back to FSG every week. Why did I need to spend 150 million? Is it more quantity? Is it more quality over quantity? What if you can get players for next to nothing that are quality footballers? Does it matter how much you spend, or would you rather the quality? Look, we're looking at. I'm going to talk about the Mbappe stuff later because everyone's losing their shit over the Mbappe stuff, like they never knew it weren't happening. It's just pathetic. But I'm with Mike. I understand what Mike's saying. Is it more of a does spending mean you're being successful and ambitious, or buying the right quality of player? Because if you look at Chelsea, you know, Chelsea has spent more money than anyone else in Europe in the last 12 months. And how many of them are real quality footballers? I would rather spend money wisely than spend too much. Is it true that Kwanzaa is starting tonight? I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't even know there was an England game till about 10 minutes ago. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I literally just found out there was an England game tonight. James is saying, get your money on Italy for Euros at 14-1. Great price. Yeah, I just don't know if Italy have the goal scorers. The 14th, is that when it opens? Big up. 14th, but players can only officially join on the 1st of July. Yeah. So you can start buying from the 14th and officially put them in on the 1st of July. Awesome. Guy from Dortmund can become really good. What guy are we talking about, Josh, my man? He talked about Adeyemi, who was Borussia Dortmund's best player in the Champions League final. But not a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, Adeyemi wasted a lot of chances. Don't get me wrong, he wasted a lot of chances, but he was probably, I would say, their best player that day. Connor said, I would love to flick at Liverpool, elite manager. To me, it's about showing us you want to win, go and get 5 players, 150. Do we need 5 players, though? That's what we're going to talk about. I mean, how much did we spend last season? How much did we... Hang on. How much did we spend last season? About that? So, Szoboszlai was 60. Gravenberch was 40. McAllister was 35. And Endo was 14. How much did we spend last season? Someone worked that out. Did we spend that last season? Around the £100 million mark? So, I think Liverpool on average usually spend about 100 million quid. Would you say? Would you say on average? Yeah, I'd say on average, yeah, about 100 million quid. They spend usually a season. Adeyemi is faster than Adeyemi's. I thought Adeyemi was Borussia Dortmund's best player. Me and Drifty did the watch along Champions League final, and I thought Adeyemi was easily Borussia Dortmund's best player. He's the only one that was trying to do anything in that Borussia Dortmund team. I know he missed a few opportunities, but I could understand why teams like him. Kudos is quality. Somerville is meaty and on the cheap. Definitely not him. You know, the Somerville thing's a weird one to me, ain't it? It's a weird one. I can understand why a lot of teams are looking at Somerville. Liverpool are looking at him. Chelsea are looking at him. Newcastle are looking at him. Man United are looking at him. There's a lot of teams looking at Somerville, and I understand why. You look at his qualities and what he's got going forward, his attributes in his game, and his age. I can understand why teams are looking at it, and his value. I think it's 30 million quid you can get him for. If you can pick Somerville up for 30 million quid and turn him into something special, I can understand why teams are looking at him, but also at the end of the day, I can understand why fans would think it's underwhelming. You know, I can sit here and understand why fans think it's underwhelming. I mean, there's people on Twitter, and they know who they are, that talk about Liverpool like every single day, about 20 tweets a day, degrading transfers constantly. And it's one geezer who said that Mane would be useless. You know, why we buy Mane from Southampton and be absolutely useless? You know, why are we going around? Why are we looking at around that market at Southampton and stuff like that? And then Mane came in and was arguably one of the best left wingers in world football. So, you know, the thing with transfers, the problem with transfers in today's society, and this is why I think social media fans are the worst fan bases in the world, and fans in today's era of this generation are ruining football, in my opinion. Social media fans in this generation are ruining football because they want a player that has got a marketability. They don't care how good he is. They just want a player that's got a name and marketability. They could never have seen him play, right? But if he's got marketability and a name, they'll go, right, why aren't we going for that player? They don't give players a chance to bed in. They all get on players as soon as they come to the football club. don't give him a year or two. If I'm shitting on Darwin Núñez now, it's because it's 2 years, and I don't think he's going to get better. If I'm shitting on Luis Diaz now, it's been for 3 and a bit years now, and I don't know if he's going to get any better. You got to let players bed in. You got to. Sometimes you're buying players not for today, but for tomorrow, and people don't like that saying, but it's true. You shouldn't just go and buy a player because he played really well for one season. You bring him in. He has a stinker of a first season, stinker of a second season, but then the third and fourth and fifth season, he might be absolutely electric. But I don't know. I think social media has ruined us all. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's ruined football and it's ruined everyone's mentality. It really has. It's ruined everyone's mentality. But Kudos is a quality player. I like Kudos. But then I've seen people say, why are we buying Kudos when he's got less goals than Luis Diaz? This is the world we live in today. This is social media. People saying, why are we buying Kudos instead of when we've got Luis Diaz? He's got less goals than Luis Diaz. People don't work out that he plays for a David Moyes West Ham team that's more defensively minded and doesn't really take risks. You put him in a Liverpool team that's more attacking and more risk making, he's going to get more opportunities to score more goals. But people don't take that into account. They just go, he plays for West Ham, scores less than Luis Diaz. Why are we buying him? It's the world we live in, unfortunately. Fortunately, that's the world we live in today. Bonkers LFC says news. Liverpool expect offers to come in from Saudi Arabia to Joe Gomez. Yeah, I've said it before. If we get a good deal for Joe Gomez, I'm happy to let him go. Thomas says, what you on about FSG? Give Slot the money. Slot won't be having any say in the acquisition of players. He's a head coach and will have very little to do with choosing players. Right, this head coach thing. People don't seem to understand the head coach rule. Everyone knows that Jurgen Klopp was a head coach, yeah? Does everyone here understand that Jurgen Klopp was a head coach? If you've got a sporting director, you are not a manager, you are a head coach. So if your team works with a sporting director and a transfer committee, you are a head coach. What is Carlo Ancelotti? He's a head coach. It's not a manager. It's just a name. It's just a name, man. It's just a name. It's you have a sporting director. Sporting directors are in charge of transfers and contracts. That's their job. So a manager doesn't need to do that, which means they're only head coaching. Klopp was a head coach. It's just now we're officially saying the title. Ancelotti's a head coach. Perez and the Real Madrid board, they go and get the players. They get the players in. Most of Europe is like that. Most of Europe is like that. We live in an age where, we live in an age where it's everyone now is like, oh my God. So we have a head coach there and with no say. So what people seem to don't understand by the club works, yeah. So back in the day, Jurgen Klopp was a head coach under Liverpool Football Club because Michael Edwards was the sporting director, but Klopp wanted all the power and was a manager. And FSG trusted him with the management while there was a fallout between Julian Ward. Why do you reckon Julian Ward left 6 months after his getting the job? Because Julian Ward thought he was going to be the sporting director who was in charge of all that stuff. But he wasn't. Klopp was in charge, and that's why he left. There is no point having a sporting director if your manager is doing the sporting director's job, guys. That's the point of the job. If your manager is doing all the work, then the sporting director is not needed, is it? You don't need a sporting director if your manager's doing all the job. If your manager's the one buying players, selling players, and sorting out contracts, you don't need a sporting director, do you? Because that's the sporting director's job. Why do you think they all left? It's just that's the job title. That's what they do. They're in charge of transfers and contracts and stuff like that. So we didn't need a sporting director. All this thing about looking for sporting directors the last 2 years, what was the point? Jurgen Klopp was in charge. He was the one managing the football club. He was the one buying and selling players. Pep Linders said it himself. Yeah, Klopp hired George Schmack. Klopp hired him. It's just it. Yeah, that's why everyone fell out, guys. Why everyone fell out. The sporting directors wanted to take, at the time, Julian Ward, Michael Edwards, they wanted to do things with the club. Klopp didn't want to do. Klopp got more power in them. FSG backed Klopp more and gave the power to Jurgen Klopp. So they did what he wanted, and then guys left. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not anyone. It's just what it is, guys. That's the way the team is. That's the way it's run. And look, did Klopp get it right all the time? No. But that's the way, and the club now really wants to run that way. So the club now wants to run that way, that you got a head coach in Arne Slot who takes the team. He takes the team like your head coach should do. Concentrates just on the team, the training, the match plays, the structure, the formation, the system. That is down to the head coach and their ability to do that. And then everything else is down to, the recruitment behind the scenes. That's the difference, man. That's the difference. Big up Howard at 88 was super. He says, hey, what's the difference between Graham Potter when he was in Brighton? Had no say in transfer, and Klopp wanted Nunes and others. Exactly. So Graham Potter, when he was at Brighton, had no say in the transfers, and they got people in because they got sporting directors. And you remember everyone at Brighton, everyone on the internet and football media and all that said Brighton have the best scouting set up in the Premier League, have the best system in the Premier League to find players, and the manager deals with them. And Klopp wanted Nunes and others. There you go. We already know the sporting directors at our football club at the time did not want Darwin Nunes, who were looking at other players. So it tells you everything right there. Tells you everything right there. Big up my man, Howard at 88. Much love to you as always. My friend. Yeah, keep it real. Big up my man came out and says Wolves already a 30 million offer for Quick. He's a Gary O'Neill's first summer sign. This one is close. Yeah, that'd be a good deal for all parties, in my opinion. Zia says James Arne Slot really Liverpool's coach. Does he exist? Didn't we get a work permit? Yeah, he's got a work permit, man. He's got a work permit. Big up, keep it real. You're doing well, man. People acting like Slot will turn up the train and there'll be a new player there, and that was Edwards. Didn't tell him about. Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, this is the problem. So Arne Slot will tell them of the profile of player that he likes. He'll also might say about players that he likes, and he will tell the transfer committee that, and then the transfer committee will take it into like they will think about, like, look at it. They will go, right, I like so and so player from the German league at Leverkusen or something like that. They'll look at it. They'll also look at the stuff people they're looking at, and they will find out what one's the better option for Liverpool Football Club to come in. That's the way it works. It works like this all over Europe. It's only in this country we have a problem with it. And like everyone keeps asking, why do Real Madrid run the world? How can Real Madrid do this and do that? Because it's not the managers that interfere in the buying of footballers. The managers stay out of it. It's up to it's up to the other people to do the job. No, the president, Perez at Real Madrid, he's like, no nonsense. He's like, I want Kaka, I want Ronaldo, I wanted Mbappe, and he just goes and gets them. Goes and gets it done. No one's telling him no. No manager's going to Perez at Real Madrid and going, right, I don't want Mbappe, I don't want Kaká, and I don't want Ronaldo. Of course they ain't. If they did, they'd go tell them where to go and get a new manager and get them players in anyway. That's the difference. No interference. No interference. There's a clear plan. Bizzle said, Jamie, when you last podcast, there was rumours online, Bizzle. There was rumours online. That was all it was. You know, in certain media outlets. But their media outlets have gone quiet now. So I'm hoping in those days as well, man. I'm hoping in those days. Daryl says, if we get Turan, proves we are cheap scouting. Why does it prove that, Daryl? Why does it prove that? Daryl, if I said you could buy a Porsche 911, a Porsche 911, and you can have it for the third of its price, are you going to turn it down? Just asking. If I said to you, you could have a Porsche 911, and you can have it for a third of its price, are you going to turn it down? Or you go and buy the other Porsche 911 somewhere else that's far more money, but it's exactly the same thing. That's what I'm saying. And the Kepa and Thuram rumours today are just rumours at the moment. No one knows of anything. Everyone wanted Kepa and Thuram last season. This is the world we live in, guys. This is social media fans today. This is the football fan of today. Last year, all you lot wanted Kepa and Thuram. Every single one of you wanted Thuram at Liverpool Football Club. Why aren't we getting him? Why aren't we getting him? Why aren't we getting him? Now he's available because he's really cheap now because his contract's coming down. And Lille might have to think about knocking him on the head because their other owner's gone to Man United and starting a war over there now, that they might have to let him go. And now he's cheap. Go and get him. I mean, I don't see the problem. I don't get the problem. I am so sick and tired of social media fans in this fan base. I've fucking had enough of it. I really have. You're all depressing. Really are. It pisses me off. I hate football. Fucking hate it. Everyone is depressed. Everyone is miserable constantly. It pisses me off. It really does. Getting sick and tired and people moaning and depressed and upset and we're getting this player and we're getting that player. Why are we buying that player when everyone wanted that player a week ago? Now no one wants that player. Now everyone's pissed off if we don't buy Edison from Atalanta when no one heard of him fucking 4 months ago. And now everyone wants him because he played a few good games in Europa League. And if we don't get him, everyone was sitting there going, why didn't we get him? It drives me fucking balmy. Drives me balmy. It really does. Fucking. Don't believe everything you read, guys. I got to bring you the news and we can debate it here. That's my job, right? My job is I'm a Liverpool channel. I'm a Liverpool content creator. And I bring you the news, guys. And then we debate the news if it's bullshit or not bullshit. Right, that's the job. That's what we do. You know? Don't believe everything. Like the Thuram rumours. Everyone wanted Thuram last season. What? Who cares if we get it? Who cares if we get him for 13 million this year? I don't care. I don't care if we buy people cheaply. I really couldn't give a shit. As long as they're the correct player. Ain't that the main thing? Isn't the main thing around here buying players that fit our football club and fit the system? Or would everyone be happy if we overspent on crap? People are still upset that we overspent on Darwin Núñez. Everyone's still upset that we spent too much money on Darwin Núñez. So, if Thuram's a good footballer, if Kepa and Thuram is a good footballer, yeah, and I ain't going to say here I know too much about him because I'll be lying. But if Kepa and Thuram's a good footballer, yeah, and he's a really good player, then if he's available for 13 million quid now, go and get him in. You know, go and get him in. Go and get him in. Go and get him in. If Edison is good enough, right? If Edison is good enough, go and get him in. I don't care how much they cost. I don't care if they cost 5 million or 70 million. It really don't bother me. As long as they're good enough, go and get them in. Don't really care how much they cost. And I like the whole Edison stuff. I've never heard, like, not many people heard of him, and now everyone raves about him. We don't know if the club were looking at Edison for like a year or so. Liverpool could have been looking at Edison for a while. I don't know. Liverpool bought players before that we have never even spoke about. I remember when no one ever spoke about Fabinho. No one ever spoke about Jota and players like this when they come to the football club. No one was ever speaking about Szoboszlai last summer, and all of a sudden he's at the football club. You know, it happens. The club are looking at players. We don't know, guys. But I don't care. My thing is, guys, I don't care how much they cost. I really don't. I couldn't give a damn how much someone costs as long as they play well and fit the team. You know, that's all I care about, guys. Honestly. I don't care how much people costs. I really don't. But the fact that people, if we say we bought Thuram this season, yeah, say we went this summer and bought Kepa and Thuram, which I don't know. I don't think we will. But say Liverpool went and bought Kepa and Thuram this summer for 13, 14 million quid, right? A lot of people will be celebrating that transfer, me included. I'll be like, that's a good deal for a player of his quality. Awesome. Yeah. That CAA worked for Liverpool. We're all happy. And then there'll be other fans who'll be like, well, we only bought him because he's cheap. And you can't win. Do you see? This is what I'm on about, guys. You can't win. They will say we only bought him because he was cheap. But you wanted him last year. You wanted him last year. And guess what, guys? Last year, we had George Schmacht and Jurgen Klopp doing all the work. Yeah? Last year was a different kind of scenario because we wasn't meant to lose Henderson and Fabinho last summer. Just because we got good deals for them and Henderson and Fabinho decided they wanted to leave, that we let them go. I thought, you know, if we never got transfer fees for them two, they would still be at the football club now. Last summer was a completely different thing. We weren't we were going after McAllister and Szoboszlai, and that was it. It's just the world we live in right now is just absolute madness. It really is. And I hate the transfer windows, guys. It does my nut in. I'm hearing rumours for today. This is another rumour I'm hearing today. This is where football, this is where football is getting absolutely mad, right? I've seen rumours today that a club in Saudi Arabia are willing to spend £100 million on Casemiro from Man United. A genuine rumour. I'm not sure if it's true, but there's a genuine rumour going online today on social media by, I don't know, whatever reporter it is, that a club in Saudi Arabia are willing to buy Casemiro for 100 million quid. This is the issue with football today. It's absolutely balmy. It's balmy. It's balmy. Absolutely nuts to me. It's just... And people want Liverpool to compete in that market. It's not Liverpool that's the problem, guys. It's not FSG it's the problem. The problem is football. I think what we need to do, guys, is start looking at the actual issue of the game instead of having a look at everyone who we class as the issue. I don't think it's FSG majority that's the issue, or other owners that are majority of the issue. It's the game today. It's football today. You're hearing people like Casemiro apparently going to Saudi Arabia between 80 and 100 million pounds. If that is the case, if that reality, if that gossip is actually true. This is the world we live in today. So where is the real issue? What is the real issue? What is the root of all evil, and what is the root of all issues in football today? It's the inflation of markets. It's players that are overprotected and can demand whatever they want because inflation's of markets. The Premier League brings in billions and billions and billions of pounds every single year. So because of that, footballers can ask for outrageous money. Where's the core of the problem? Where's the core of the issue? Is it the corruption in football? Because there is. Is it the inflation of transfer markets that probably started in England with the Premier League? What is it? What is the real cause of the problems in football today? It's just, and because we live in this market, because we live in this market now, we all demand the same. We all demand exactly the same from our market. So we're seeing Real Madrid signed Kylian Mbappe on a free. And I do quotations on a free because his signing on fee is 150 million quid. That's Mbappe's signing on fee, apparently. So Real Madrid are saying it's a free transfer, but for some reason, for a free transfer, they're paying a signing on fee of 150 million pound or euros, whatever you want to say. His wage is going to be up to 1 million a week. And people ask, what's the issue? And people wonder what the issue in football is. And people ask what the issue in football is. It's just a footballer on a free transfer is getting a signing on fee of 150 million quid, which would be what? The fourth highest transfer of all time? Third highest transfer of all time? And it was a free transfer. It was a free transfer. But he got a sign-on fee, 150 million pound. What's the highest transfer of all time? Is it 180 million? Neymar from Barcelona. What is it? Mbappe to PSG, was it? Or Neymar to PSG? Coutinho went to Barcelona for less in a transfer fee for less than Mbappe's signing on fee, guys. That's football. That is the football we're talking about in today's market. That's football in today's market. Zia says, Jamie, there's no issue with football. It's what the market is willing to pay. People have to accept that. Well, that is football, though. That is football's issue. 222 million euros is the about 220 million quid is the highest transfer fee. So for a free transfer, he went for 150 million quid. That's madness, ain't it? That's absolutely madness. What's the difference? Oh, I read that one. Big up. I think this one's new by Howler. Big up, man. I have an idea for you, mate. I think you should have some sort of column on the left and right where you can always update the most transfer rumours of clubs so we can communicate. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So what it is, I use StreamYard. So StreamYard don't really let you do that sort of thing a lot. It's easier to do it on OBS, but OBS is a pain to use, man. It's really hard to use. I swear I've been looking into using OBS, but I swear you got to have a degree to understand what the hell to do in OBS. It's absolutely madness to me. I don't get it. I look at OBS's I got my OBS up and I'm looking at it and thinking, bloody hell, I need a degree. Where StreamYard is so easy and clean. It's so much easier for me to use. But it's something I will look into, man. It's so much easier. It's much easier to do, but I will look into that, man. Big up Taylor in the chat. So Neymar went from Barcelona. So that's the record, 222 million euros. So around 220 million quid was a transfer fee from Neymar from Barcelona to PSG. Mbappe went for free and got 150 million pound release signing on fee. And I don't know, about 800 grand a week or something ridiculous he's on. Liverpool can't live in that market. I don't care what everyone says. Liverpool can't live in that market. There's no problem with it. We can't live in that market, guys. it's just yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm looking for a job. You could hire me, mate. I'll think about it, man. I'll think about it. Salah's on over 18 million years, so he's paid very well. I heard a few say he deserves a free transfer. If so, I'd say if Mo goes on a free, he's done us dirty, says Redbird. I hear that. Our revenue is one of the highest in the world of football. It is. It is. But then put Mbappe into it. Look, the thing is, right, I get what everyone's saying, yeah? Also, Real Madrid are run completely different from Liverpool. It's a different process. It's a different. They're pretty much run by the Spanish royal family, yeah. So they get money thrown at them. They're not. It's not like they're owned like Fenway Sports owns Liverpool. It's not like that for Real Madrid, you know. Fenway Sports could sell up Liverpool tomorrow to someone else, yeah, and they come in and put their. It's a different thing, you know. It's a different thing entirely. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, he has taken a pay cut. To be fair, he has taken a pay cut. But no clubbing. I don't think any club. You got to remember as well the tax. Another thing you got to remember in football, guys, is the tax. The tax is very high in England. It's very high. So to pay Mbappe what he's probably going to get in Spain, you'd have to up that tax. You'd have to up that to match because of tax. So he's going to get like 40 to 50% of his wages taxed. Yeah, if he came to this country. So to get Mbappe in England, you'd probably have to give him over $1 million a week, like PSG had to, because the tax in France is high as well, to make sure he gets the wages that he wants. You know, that's why some of the big players never came to England, and also why some of the big players left England. It weren't that they weren't getting great money. Fact is, they were getting highly taxed, and that was the that's another issue we got to put it at. No one really talks about a lot. No one really talks about the taxing scheme in this country is extremely high. Yeah, in Spain they're very strict on tax as well. Whereas on here, you allow the rich and powerful exploit tax loopholes. Yeah, but footballers, for some reason, Vic, footballers, you know, their tax comes out straight away because it's PAYE, ain't it? Their tax comes out straight away. They're not self-employed; they're employed. So their tax would come out straight away out of their wage. They wouldn't have to go and pay their tax later. Comes out of their wage straight away. So that's why not a lot of big players have come to this country because of that. You know, it's to pay Mbappe would be ridiculous. It's mad. It's mad. Like that's why Man City didn't get Mbappe. You know, Man City, the richest token. You telling me Man City couldn't have gone out and got Mbappe? No, everyone keeps talking about why Liverpool didn't get Mbappe. Forget Liverpool a minute. Liverpool haven't got the financial muscle of Manchester City. They just haven't. So why did Man City go out and get Mbappe? Why? I don't even know Man City fans. Like, why had Man City gone out and gone Mbappe? They're the richest club in this country. They got more muscle, financial muscle than anyone else. They can throw their money about. Why aren't they gone and got Mbappe? Why aren't they gone and got Mbappe? You imagine Mbappe and Haaland together in the same team. They'd be conquering everything forever, you know? But they haven't gone and got Mbappe. Yeah, it's just, it's mad. Mbappe will get almost $500 million for 5 years at Real Madrid. Let that sink in. Real Madrid can afford that. $500 million. $500 million in 5 years. One player. And people ask me about football not being dead right now. And everyone thinks this is justable. Does everyone think this is okay? That one player can get £500 million for 5 years' work at Real Madrid for kicking a ball about. That's just. That's just mad. I don't even think Mbappe is even the best player in the world right now either. It's just, I'm not here for that sort of stuff, man. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. It could, even with wealthy owners, you could have Newcastle or Man City level owners. If that transfer goes wrong, you're $500 million in debt. If that transfer went wrong and anything happened, you're £500 million in debt. How do you get rid of £500 million worth of debt? You know, that's just mad to me. How do you stop £500 million worth of being in debt? And this is the thing wrong with football today. So, you know, yeah, Newcastle have the richest owner, Taylor, but Newcastle can't spend any money because of FFP rules. But Man City can. Let's let that sink in. Newcastle have the richest owners in world sport. Newcastle could have done the Mbappe deal. They could have done the Mbappe deal, yeah? Right, no issue. But they couldn't because of FFP. But they've got the wealthiest owner in the world. But Man City can go on and spend hundreds of millions of pounds every year still. But this is football we live in today that everyone's all right with. And this is what's my issue with football right now. And I don't like it. It's becoming who can buy the shiniest toy. So that's what it's becoming now. Who can buy the shiniest toy? You know, and if anyone thinks the Haaland deal was just £51 million release clause, then you're all balmy. Michael Watson said, Jane, you heard apparently we're open to talks to sign Thuram, and Fabrizio said we're looking at Iniesta. Look, we need a left-footed centre back. So Iniesta, I believe, is left-footed. I might be wrong there. So if he fits the criteria, as I keep saying, I don't care how much a player costs. As they fit the criteria and they make the team better, just buy the player. Don't care how much anyone costs. Literally don't. I don't care how much anyone costs. Go and do the deal. But yeah, I'm up for. Look, I'm up for him. I'm up for them signings as long as they work, man. Jamie, do you think Slot will have a different approach to how he deals with Nunes? His good record with making players better, changing their positions from previous clubs. Yeah. I think there's got to be some differences between the way Slot and Klopp do their job. I think a lot of they're quite similar in the way they look at football, in my opinion, and the way they try and put their football down. But they still go have different ways of doing it. I think that, I think what rumours I've said and what I've heard from the Dutch side of everything is that he doesn't care if you've got name value. He doesn't care as long as the team's performing. That's all he cares about. So if you got a name value, but you can't get back in the team, but the team's performing, that's all he cares about, which I like. I think we've got too many egos in our team right now. And I think last year we had a system set up for one player, and that's the wrong way of doing it. Darwin Nunes. As for Darwin, I've always said this. If the new manager can come in, Arne Slot can come in and get Darwin playing and make him perform better, and he scores over 20 odd goals, then I'm an happy man. All I've ever wanted was Darwin to be that player that scores 20 Premier League goals. If I can get Darwin in and he can score over 20 Premier League goals for me, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy. That's what I want. Do I think it's going to happen? No. And that's why I think we have to move on. But I want to be proved wrong. I want Darwin Nunes to prove me wrong. I'd love it if he can prove a lot of the people wrong. Go, look, I'm going to score 20 plus goals. And he gets down and starts working hard at his game, because there is parts of Darwin's game where I think he's got to work a little harder on. But he's at an age now, what is he, 24, 25, something like that, that in my opinion, them parts of his game should be already there, and they're not yet. So he's got a lot to work on. But if he can do it, I'm more than happy. And if Slot can make him do that as well, if Slot can help him find that, then I think we're all happy. I just don't know if it'll be the case. It's going to be interesting next season with him. And yes, it'll be a solid signing. Trent starts in midfield tonight. I think Trent, when he plays for England, will only be a midfielder now, in my opinion. I read somewhere that Slot might try Trent out in midfield in pre-season, which would be fantastic. It's something we've been looking for Trent to play in that position. So if he can get him there, if he can work it in a system that can put Trent in midfield and make him successful in that area, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm rich. I'm really in for it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sold on it too much yet. So I'm just looking at Fabrizio's here. So Fabrizio said on his YouTube channel that Liverpool are showing interest in Yasho. Do you know the mad thing is, last year we could have got him for a lot cheaper than we're getting him this year. That tells you how badly the club was run last year. Tells you everything about how badly the club was run last year. TW says, what positions does Turan play? I think Turan plays that sort of like advanced sixth position. He's more of a deep lining midfielder than he is an attacking midfielder, I believe. I'll Google it right there. What I do, I transfer market it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Kepra Turan, ain't it? Kepra and Turan. So Kepra and Turan, yeah, he's not really a goal scorer. So he's a deep lining midfielder. He's a deep lining playmaking midfielder. So he can play the sixth role. So maybe that's who they're looking at. Maybe that's who they're looking at. He plays in a deeper role. How did Solanke outscore Nunes? Solanke got 19 Premier goals this season. Yeah, it's my issues with it, man. We got double A in the chat. Hope you're doing good. Douglas says, I agree with you, Jamie. We were screwed because FSG had Moneyball. One trick. Have we? Here's a question for you, Douglas, my man. And I'm not having to go at you or anything here. Have Liverpool actually been a Moneyball team over the last few years? Have Liverpool been like that Moneyball team the last few years? I wouldn't say we have been. Yeah, DM, box to box. Yeah, he's a bit like Declan Rice. So Declan Rice isn't really a defensive midfielder. Declan Rice is like a defensive box to box kind of midfielder, and that's what he is as well. And that's what Kepra and Turan is. You know, he's like that Declan Rice kind of. He's like that Declan Rice kind of player. I'd say it's more of a box to box six. To be fair, it's like Kante. Kante, everyone thinks Kante was a DM. He weren't really. He was box to box. Declan Rice is box to box. They're not really DMs. There's not many even specialist DMs around either. Big up Mr. John Conway. Hope you're doing well. 24 months, 2 years basically. John Conway has been a member. Big up to you, my man. Thing is, Turan, though, do we have Gravenberch that position now? If like this is an interesting look at it all as well, because I do believe Gravenberch is being looked at by AC Milan, and big up my man K-Mac last time saying that AC Milan were looking at Gravenberch. Now, I don't know if Gravenberch will leave this season, because Gravenberch leaving this season would mean that obviously the club didn't want him in the first place. You know, the likes of Richard Hughes and people like that don't think he'll work at the club, but they'd think Turan would fit in better. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, them links like the links of Gravenberch to AC Milan and Liverpool being linked to Thuram, maybe there is something in it. Maybe there is something in it. Big up my man. Hey, how you doing, man? Big up my man like. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Joe, we're going to be a Moneyball team again with Edwards at the helm. Is that a bad thing? I want to know everyone in the chat. Let me know in the chat right now. Is being a Moneyball team, though, a bad thing? Is it a bad thing? Because if we look at the time when Michael Edwards was sporting director for Liverpool, he bought well and he sold well. So is it a bad thing? Is it outrageously bad? Because you can be moneyballing from a higher point of view. You can moneyball from a low point of view, from a low financial point of view. You can moneyball from a high financial point of view. This is the thing with moneyballing. You know, it's not always down here. You can moneyball up here as well. So I don't. Is it a terrible thing if you got the right people in charge to do the job? That's the thing. The problem with moneyballing and this way of this way of doing business, if you've not got the right people in charge to do it, then it can look really bad. If you've got the right people in charge of doing it, it can actually look pretty good. I don't know, Taylor. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this summer goes on. We're gonna have to see how this summer goes on. Jamie, when is the show with Monts and the guys from the Big Six on? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think Monts. I could Google it. Let me have a look for you right now. Let me have a look at you right now. Why, have you had enough of me, mate? Is that what it is? Jake's like, right, I've had enough of Jamie now. When's Monts on? I get it. I hear you. I hear you. It's all good. I can take it. Let me have a look. He's got nothing up yet on his YouTube homepage. Usually we do a Monday night show. So me, Monts and Cal usually do a Monday night show. I don't know if he's doing one tonight. I'll message him in a bit. If he is, then we'd be on around 11 midnight, something like that. Yeah, I think Thuram's more defensive than Gravenberch as well. Yeah. Big up, Douglas. Douglas, you carry on the fight, my friend. You carry on the fight. I'm with you. AC Milan can't afford his transfer and his wages. Could be a loan deal. I'd love Gravenberch to stay as well. I'm with him, man. I like Gravenberch. I don't think AC Milan can afford his deal. I don't think AC Milan can afford an outright deal for Gravenberch right now. You know, for transfer fee and wages and all that, and contract and everything. The only way I see Gravenberch leaving to AC Milan this summer is probably a loan deal. That is it. We loan Gravenberch to AC Milan for a year. Otherwise, I don't see how he goes. We could get Thuram for as little as 15 to 20 million. I'd say that would be a bargain. I'm sure his contract's by then. Yeah, that's why, Michael. So, look, this is my thing, my rant earlier. Everyone wanted Thuram last season. Everyone was going on about Thuram last season. We never got Thuram last season because last summer was completely different. Hendo and Fabinho was not meant to go. We was in the market for a defensive midfielder, and we always knew we were getting someone like McAllister in the door. That was an open secret. Then we couldn't get the DM. We got Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Endo. We weren't in the market for someone like. We obviously weren't in the market for him last season. Although Thuram would have been cheaper than Szoboszlai. He was the same price as Gravenberch, but for some reason we didn't go down the Thuram route last year. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe other people that are running the club at the time had a different view on things. This is the thing as well, guys. It's a different view. It's a different view on the club right now. You know, you got Arne Slot and his guys. You got Julian Ward, Edwards, Richard Hughes, and their guys, and Fallows and Hunter and their guys. So we've got a different. We're basically a different club now than we were this time last year. We're a completely different club, and because of that, you've got a new set of eyes, new people looking at new data, new players, and like Richard Hughes and all that lot might have liked Thuram. They might have liked. Oh, we was here last year. We got to get from Thuram instead of a Gravenberch, say. But this has been the mess up of the club for the last year or so, the last 18 months. You know, should have Gravenberch come to our football club when there was no real plan for him? Because what was the plan for Gravenberch, guys? In all honesty, what was the plan for Gravenberch this season? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what the plan was for Ryan Gravenberch this year and what suited him to play? But again, as I said earlier, not everything's about the first season. It's about the years ahead. It's about the years ahead. But Jurgen Klopp at the beginning of last season weren't thinking about leaving Liverpool Football Club. So in everyone's point of view, Jurgen Klopp would still be here today because no one knew he was leaving. So when we got someone like Gravenberch in, Klopp was apparently going to be here still for another 2 or 3 years before his contract ended. So what was the fit of Gravenberch in the next 2 to 3 years under a Jurgen Klopp with Liverpool? Now it's different because Klopp's gone. You got Richard Hughes in there now. You got Edwards back. You got Julian Ward back. You got Arne Slot in charge. They might see someone like a Gravenberch and go, "We never really wanted it. Like we wouldn't have bought him. He doesn't suit, but Thuram does. So let's go and get Thuram now, especially how much cheaper he is. I'm not sure. There's a new set of eyes on everything now, so it's going to be exciting." Gang and Deep says it's only if you're not flexible with money. But exactly, Gang and Deep. Exactly. Ryan Gravenberch, I'd give another year just because he is someone with a unique skill set. I'm with you. I agree. He's running with the ball, long range shooting. I don't mind him staying. See if he can settle and improve. I thought, to be fair to Gravenberch, he was improving as the season went on. It's not a bad thing, but times have changed. You know, you can't money any team now with FFP, and if we really want to get back to the top and not just challenging, but winning the Premier League and Champions League. Yeah, I hear you. It's going to be surprise. I'll tell you what, guys. It's going to be interesting this summer transfer window for all clubs, ain't it? For all clubs, it's going to be. It's going to be a very interesting this season coming up because you say with the FFP stuff, with the Premier League regulation rules and all that going on, that's why January is really quiet. It's one of the quietest Januaries ever in transfer windows. I wonder if this summer's going to be quite similar. It's going to be interesting to see. I do feel we have room in the squad to sign a DM without sending another DM sent to Mrs. Edward. Interesting. You know, we are Ash, man, and we pay our parents for Christmas presents. Love how it's good debate show you, Monty Cal. Big up, Jake. Yeah, hopefully we're back tonight. I don't know. I'm going to have to measure Monts, man. I'm going to have to give Monts a message. I don't know if he's setting anything up for tonight, but yeah, So what we were trying to do is I do a show earlier in the evening, then Coppish are on, and then we're on with Monts. That was meant to be so my show, Coppish, Monts. That was meant to be your Monday nights, guys. But I'm not sure what Monts has got planned here. I think he's been proper busy. So we have to see, guys. We'll have to see. Hopefully. Rumour has it Arne Slot didn't like Liverpool's kebab meat and was considering his off. Kebab meat, you know. I was going to start reading that like it was a real rumour, Jake. Daryl, you don't have to apologise for anything, my friend. You're a Liverpool fan, and you do what you want, man. You do what you want, my friend. You know, no negativity over it. You're good. You're good. And my shout earlier weren't at you, Daryl. It weren't at you, my man. You know I love you. Jay, wonder if Slot waiting for his assistant's work permit. That could be Ant could have knocked it on the head here. Obviously, we're just waiting for the work permit for his assistant coach to finish. he's given his resignation to the Dutch national side because remember Arne Slot's assistant at Feyenoord was also the assistant for the Dutch national team. So I think you got to just wait for all that paperwork to go through, and then maybe yeah, Hank could have hit nail on the head there. Yeah, Trump's a good player, man. Mr. Tibbs, big up, man. We got Daryl in the chat. JFSG almost invented Moneyball, and they should be the best 14 years at ball. And now we're on the next manager. Massive respect, Jane, but screw FSG. We have standards in FSG, isn't it? Oh, that's fair enough, man. If you feel, I'm not going to stop you feeling like that, man. Big up to you, man. Fight the fight, my friend. You know that. Fight the fight. Oh, for goodness sake, Redbird. What channel is the England game on? I have no idea. I didn't even know it was on too earlier. Yeah, smash the lights and that, guys. We live in a world where people only care about money. Things cost. Why wouldn't we pay less or something if you can? Big up, Seamus. I'm with you, man. Yeah, Curtis cementing his spot. I do worry about Curtis next season, though, Mr. Link. I ain't gonna lie. We might go for Schalke young box for Asan or Drago buying a pulled out the deal. I've heard about that. It's that young guy, ain't it? Like 18-year-old, 17-year-old. Big up, Daryl. All love. Where is Slot first day of the job buggers off on holiday? Every man deserves an holiday, you know what I mean? Look, the club ain't going nowhere, is it? The club ain't going nowhere. I think if we haven't heard anything by the end of the week, I'll be shocked. If we ain't got anything done by the end of the week, I'll be shocked. Why can't we sign players ready to win now? Can't be we're a project youth. I think you can mix it up, Connor, can't you? I think you can mix it up. I'm with you. I don't want every player we sign to be a project player. We need ready-made winning players as well. But I like a mixture. I like mixing it up a little bit. One player here, one I don't mind us getting like an experienced player ready to go, and a project player, and then another experienced player ready to go, and then one of them players that are just in between project and experience. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a Turam, one of them in between players. I don't mind mixing it up because you do need players for today. You need players for tomorrow. Personally, so yeah, I don't mind a mix up, shall we say? England's on Channel 4 for anyone who wanted to know, guys. He started Trent in the 6, has he? Oh, he just wants to kill Trent. That's what he's done. Southgate's just trying to kill Trent now. Starting him in the 6, you know. Oh, man, you can't. You can't with these guys, man. You can't. Charles, speak up to you, man. Big up Andrew, the super says our Red Klopp was going to quit if we won all 22. Big up Andrew. How you doing well, Andrew? Thanks for the super, man. Much love. He played the B team and stuck Trent next to Gallagher. Oh, good God. Jamie, you're like you're like an agony aunt. Bring me your questions. Trent to be more appreciated if he goes to Trent. Wow, this is the thing. So I know a lot of people worried about Trent going to Real Madrid because Trent commented on Jude Bellingham's Instagram post. Wow. Trent and Jude Bellingham are good friends, and he commented on his good friend's Instagram post after winning the Champions League. I don't think that means Trent's off to Real Madrid. It's just, and this is, I don't know why we're letting people go down their contracts, but the football club don't seem concerned because nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. Yeah. Jamie, I'm tired of this Trent in midfield thing. It's boring now. It is. Oh, look, I think Slot will try Trent in midfield in pre-season. You know, in the pre-season games, I wouldn't be shocked if he gives Trent a workout in midfield just to see for himself if Trent can play there. You know, what he feels. There was some rumours going around that Arne Slot was liking the fact of Conor Bradley at right back and Trent in midfield. Yeah, my only issue is Trent goes into midfield, guys, we might not buy a midfielder. That's my only issue. That is literally my only issue, because if Trent goes into midfield, do we buy a midfielder? I don't see it happening. Does anyone else see it happening? You go Trent in midfield alongside McAllister. I just don't see us buying a midfielder if Trent does that. Charles says Kwanzaa is starting. Big up Kwanzaa, starting for England, my man. You know, I think though there's been too many rumours of late. Far too many rumours of late that Liverpool are after a number 6, and I think the rumours are there for a reason. I think Liverpool look at their midfield and think they need a number 6. I've said it for a while. I think Stefan should go on loan next season to work out this midfield conundrum that we got right now. I think Liverpool need to look at it and look for offers for Stefan Bajcetic. I think they need to look for offers for Stefan on loan, not a sell, just on loan. Look at clubs, ask them if they're willing to have Stefan on loan. Stefan's only played 21 games. Oh, Kwanzaa's not starting. Oh, it's Duncan Guay. Lewis Dunk is, Jesus Christ. That's why this country, man. Stefan Bajcetic only played 21 games in 18 months. It's all he's played. It's not enough games for him to just come back in. 21 games in 18 months is not a lot, guys. That's why I feel like that's why I feel like we'll keep Wataru Endo now. Like I did, as I said, Bizzle said last month, there was articles out that Liverpool will let Wataru Endo go. Doesn't look like it's the case now. He will stay. Why is Wataru Endo staying now? We're after a DM, but we're keeping Wataru Endo. If Liverpool are after a DM, but we're keeping Wataru Endo, that tells me that Stefan Bajcetic is up for loan and could be loaned. That's what that's telling me there. We could be loaning Stefan out if we're keeping an Endo. Because you don't need to keep Stefan, Endo, and buy a DM. You don't need 3 of them. So, yeah, I do wonder there. I do wonder. But all I'm hoping is, before I get to that, Double A says if Bajcetic goes on loan, he has to be to a Prem club, no championship team. Personally, I feel Stefan will feature heavily. Slot like plays a youth. Yeah, that is the one thing. Arne Slot does like playing youth players. He does like playing youth players, but the difference is though at Feyenoord, he's going to have the opportunity, no matter what people think, to spend more money on better players at Liverpool than he ever did at Feyenoord. So he had to play the youth a little bit more at Feyenoord because of financial reasons. At Liverpool, he's got better players already at Liverpool, and he's in a different transfer market for players that have come to Liverpool more than they would go to Feyenoord. So that's a thing as well. If you're, I just look at it and think, if Liverpool are not letting Wataru Endo go and he stays for another year, that's your DM squad player. That's your number 2 DM at the football club. So that means you're going to go out and buy another DM. Unless the football club are looking at it and going, they're going to play Stefan Bajcetic as the number 1 defensive midfielder and have Wataru Endo as the number 2 defensive midfielder at the football club to rotate with. And then you've got your 8s and 10s in McAllisters and Szoboszlai's and Harvey Elliott's, Curtis Jones's around it. That's the only other option they could do. But if you keep Wataru Endo, I think Stefan could go out on loan. 21 games isn't a lot, guys. 21 games in 18 months of football. Might just need a year somewhere to get his game back up and then come back the following year. That's what the loan system should be there for. Go out on loan, not because you're not good enough. He just needs football. He just needs games. And at this moment in time, I don't know where Stefan gets into the team right now. We got Crypto Nation in the chat. I don't know where Stefan gets into the team right now. Because if Arne Slot's going to play Trent as a midfielder, Trent gets ahead of him. If he's going to play Szoboszlai as a midfielder, Szoboszlai's going to get ahead of him. If he wants to have a look at Gravenberch and he feels like Gravenberch could be a player, Gravenberch probably gets ahead of him right now because of the football he ain't played. So loaning Trent out, not Trent, pause. Loaning Stefan Bajcetic out might be good for him just for the fact that he's just to get his game back up to scratch for a year. He's going to be so rusty. He might be proper rusty. Yeah. And everyone forgets how young Stefan is. What is he still like 19, 20 years old? Maybe a loan would do him good at his age as well. I don't know where Jones fits in a 4-2-3-1. 8. Don't trust him in a pivot. He's not a 10. Unless you're playing him in a double pivot. This is what me and K-Mac were talking about the other day. Like, we like Curtis Jones, but I don't know what he's... If Slot does play 4-2-3-1, we know Slot plays 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3, so he could play a mixture of the both. But even in a 4-3-3, I still don't know where Curtis Jones features in this midfield three. I don't know where. I don't know where he features. Especially if we buy a DM. If we get a DM in, then you got more space for Trent to come into midfield. You got McAllister and Szoboszlai and Gravenberch and Harvey Elliott, who I think is above Curtis Jones right now in the pecking order. I just don't know where Curtis fits. And I like Curtis. Does Curtis want to be a squad player? Curtis is a young boy still. He's 22. Still a young guy. I don't think Curtis will go anywhere this season. At the same time, if someone came in for transfer fee for Curtis Jones, I don't think the club will stand in his way. I don't. If a transfer fee came in for Curtis Jones, I don't think the club would sit here and go, he's untouchable. No, we're not selling him. I don't think they'd stand in his way if a good fee comes in. For me personally, as a player, I think Harvey Elliott is a better footballer than Curtis Jones, in my opinion. And I like Curtis Jones, but as a footballer, I think Harvey Elliott is a better player. And he's younger, so it means he's only getting better. So if I had to pick between the two, I'm going to pick Harvey Elliott over Curtis Jones. And then my other young player is Stefan Bajcetic, who I feel has got a brighter future. He's got a brighter future. So, yeah, I don't think there'll be many people would buy. I think we won't buy any more than 4 players in this transfer market. I think we'll go buy a centre back, a DM, a left back, and a forward. That's what I think we're going to buy. A left back, a centre back, a DM, and a forward. I think that's all we're going to bit. No, Lee, I agree with Lee as well. He's a scouser. He has got that. But can you keep players just because they come from the city if they're not? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Harvey has higher ceiling. I think Harvey's he's a talent, man. He's going to be a superstar. Absolute superstar. We need a number 2 as well, Jamie. Yeah, because the rumours are big up the K-Mac shouting me out earlier. So the rumours are obviously that Kelleher could be going to Wolves for 30 mil. That'd be a big bit of business. Do you know the weird one here, guys? Do you know the weird one here? That Adrian ain't gone anywhere yet, guys. Adrian is still at the football club. Now, Adrian's contract runs out on the 1st of July. If Adrian is still at this football club next season, yeah, that's a mad one. But we haven't heard anything, have we? Has anyone else heard anything? I haven't. You know, the 2 transfers that we let go, obviously, in who went this summer? Thiago and Matip. Thiago and Matip are not getting new contracts, yeah? They got a send-off at Anfield. Adrian, whose contract runs out at the same time as Thiago and Matip's, never got a send-off at Anfield, guys. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in. The year before, we gave James Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, all these people that went for free transfers that hardly played, a send-off. We always do it. We never gave Adrian a send-off. His contract, like Matip's and like Thiago's, runs out on the 1st of July. I'm just saying, if we could play conspiracy games for a minute, if Adrian gets a new contract, I'll be laughing. If I look at the Liverpool goalkeeping situation right now, Queven Kelleher is to leave. Is McGregor a free transfer right now? McGregor's probably a good number 2 to come in, play games. James Trafford, Liverpool been linked with, but I don't think he's good enough. I'd rather keep Queven Kelleher. Kasper Schmeichel's a free transfer. Would you go and get him, or would that not be able to happen with his dad, being a Man United player? Scott Carson stays at Man City every year and never plays games, guys, ever. It's interesting. I'm not sure. Oh, not Alex McCarthy, ain't it? Alex McCarthy. The goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy's a free transfer. Apparently, Liverpool are looking at him as a number 2 or coming in as a number 3 next season. I've always said I prefer older goalkeepers as a number 2. Young goalkeepers as a number 2 don't work for me because you limit their experience that they need to get. They don't play enough games. So if you got a number 1 who's your out-and-out number 1 like Alisson Becker is, it's very hard to go and get a goalkeeper that's going to challenge Alisson Becker for that number 1 jersey. There's not many. What number 2 goalkeeper you got to get that's that good that can challenge Alisson Becker for that number 1 jersey. Let's go be happy sitting on the bench being a number 2. Not many. So you got to look for an older, maybe olderish number 2 goalkeeper. So yeah, Alex McCarthy might be that. It just makes sense to me. It's a free transfer. Makes sense. It does make sense. Jamie, we have more games next season. We need another number 2. We do. But if I'm playing Alisson in all Premier League and Champions League games, and I'm playing the number 2 in all FA Cup and League Cup games, Alisson Becker does not need to play in League Cup or FA Cup matches, in my opinion. Alisson needs to play in all Premier League and Champions League games. And that's it. That's it. Yeah, Alex McCarthy would be a good number 2. To be fair, guys, I'm not sure how old he is. 36, something like that. I think he'd be a good number 2. Unless it's a final. No, I'd still play. I'm still playing a number 2 in a final as well. Still playing number 2 in the final as well. It's 34. So 34 is good. Yeah. If Alex McCarthy's 34, yeah. He's got experience. He's played around. He's played around. Pause. He's a good goalkeeper. He's not elite or anything great or special or anything like that. He's a good, dependable goalkeeper. And I think he's for a free transfer as a number 2, it'd make logical sense. You know, I don't like Trafford. If we're going after James Trafford, just keep Kelleher. Just go Queeve and Keller and go, look, we'll just give you these. We'll up your wages to keep you at the football club as number 2. Yeah, he was solid in the playoff final. He was really good. Played for Southampton last season, wasn't he? He played for Rangers before that. Oh, I saw this rumour today. Yeah. I saw that rumour today. Liverpool could get Coutinho on a free. Yeah. I saw this guy doing the rounds. Could you imagine that Liverpool sold Coutinho for 140 odd million quid, built up their team, was successful, and then he came back for free? Yeah, that would. Yeah, that would. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Trafford lost his place at Burnley. He did. Yeah. Jamie, UEFA is proposing limiting teams to 18 in all leagues in 2 years. Thoughts? I don't know, 18. A lot of countries play with 18 teams in the league already, don't they? 20 is the highest you can go. Remember when the Premier League first started and it was 24. 24 teams in the league. That's just mental. It's too many. Yeah, 20 is the sweet spot. 18, I'm happy with 18 as well. I'm happy with 18 as well. Yeah, I think Coutinho's days as a top player is finished, by the way, guys. He won't be coming back to Liverpool. No, his days as a top player is pretty much finished. Yeah, that's the thing you need to do. Stop adding bloody competition. Right, guys. Big up to everyone. You've all been great as usual. So we're in the summer now, guys. So videos, I don't like. I'll be doing videos as much as I can, guys. But it's summer, not much football. We've got the Euros coming on as well. Me and Drifty will be doing a lot of watch alongs for the Euros. So you got that, guys, to look forward to. I obviously we're bringing more videos, but they might not be every day. They just be when I can at the moment. If there's anything good to talk about, I'll bring you it, guys. Obviously, you know that. I don't know. Is End still live? End's man still live? I'm not sure. Not sure. Is End's man still live? Oh, what is going on there? Everything's broken. Midnight Madness. No Midnight Madness tonight. I might be on. I'm not sure if Monts is doing a show tonight. I'm going to have to message Monts to see if he's doing a show tonight. If Monts is doing a show tonight, or is he just finished? Big up Mersey Red. If Monts is doing a show tonight, I'll be on with Monts tonight around midnight. But yeah, I might be back tomorrow. If there's stuff to talk about, guys, in the world of football and world of Liverpool Football Club, I will bring it to you. But big up to everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. You guys are beautiful, as always. I think I read all the supers out. Yes, I did. Big up everyone who sent supers. Big up to everyone commentating. Honestly, yeah, man, we spoke about that earlier. Some exciting news on there. Formula One. I don't like Formula One, man. I used to like Formula One back in the day. Liverpool showed interest. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. No, we don't. Steve, we're going to wait till the end of the week. If we ain't had no confirmation by the end of the week, I'm not sure when it's going to be, my friend. Hopefully this week sometime. That's fingers crossed anyway. But big up you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe and share all that good stuff. Till then, bye-bye.